Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi has started his 3-day fast. Mr. Arun Jaitley, leader of opposition Rajya Sabha and senior BJP leader, is with us. What is the significance? Is it just Mr. Modi trying to achieve something, or is it a larger BJP part of a larger BJP plan?
I think it's an initiative that he's taken. He has a style of functioning, and he always sets a positive agenda for himself. And then he's undeterred by any form of criticism. Therefore, in the last 9 years, he had a positive agenda. He didn't answer the criticism which was being made against him. And that positive agenda was, A, he brought about a huge amount of economic development in Gujarat. Not only India, the whole world notices it. And B, he made sure that after those unfortunate riots of 2002, Gujarat sees an era of peace, which in 20-30 years prior to that had evaded Gujarat. Having achieved both these, that's a good track record in the last 9 years of social harmony and economic development. I think with this fast and calling it a part of his government Sadbhavna mission, he's now set this twin agenda of economic development and social harmony. And I think between the two of them, and knowing his administrative and campaign abilities, he seems fairly determined to push it. His program answers the criticism, he doesn't answer it himself. And then he looks forward and responds to the situation by his future course of action.
But this social harmony, this element seems to be a new addition. And does it also mean that it can be incorporated in the BJP's wider agenda for the nation?
I think it should. It should. And that's why I consciously gave the example of Punjab. When I said that the alliance between the Akali Dal and the BJP, particularly in the backdrop of terrorism and tense situation in Punjab, was more a social alliance than a political alliance, and it achieved a purpose. And therefore, most of our state governments have had a good record in this. 2002 was a very bad aberration, and therefore, I think one has to look forward. And for any political party, social harmony will always bring it credit. And that's also in larger society's interest.
Because that is one thing which has dogged the BJP over the last few years, over the last 2 decades, is this harmony factor over its sense of inclusive politics.
According to me, you see, we've been looked at through the prism of certain issues that we raise.
Like Modi is looked at from the 2002 riots.
No. And I think a large number of those issues actually don't impinge on this. It's not that we are going to give up our position on this. Are we going to weaken our position as far as terrorism is concerned? The answer is no. Are we on issues of sovereignty and national integration, the way we look at separatism in Kashmir, etc., are we going to deviate from it?
Or say Ram Mandir?
You see, that's a part of the agenda of the party. It's a larger agenda of the society. Fortunately, you have a judicial verdict now, and the issue is on way to possibly a judicial resolution. And therefore, even these issues, you can take a political position, which is according to your ideological position. You don't have to dilute it. But at the same time, in matters of governance, in matters of state being fair, state being compassionate, you take a fair view.
Mr. Narendra Modi today said something very interesting, that I have ensured development without appeasement. Is he reaching out? His letter yesterday, in which there was some... Is he reaching out perhaps because he realizes that...
It's not that he's reaching out. He had already reached out. You see, economic development is, according to me, the most equitable and inclusive program that you can have. So in Gujarat, if you have large highways, if you have industrial development, if you have the agriculture sector growing at 12-13%, then development doesn't look at the religion or the caste of the man. Everybody grows. And therefore, even the Sachar Commission report with regard to the minorities in Gujarat is very clearly said they are much better off than in most parts of the country. Therefore, he's concentrated on that. He's concentrated on development without discrimination. So when he did that in the backdrop of 2002, he had already reached out and he developed a considerable support base. Therefore, a large number of our party members from the minority community got elected in the municipal corporation elections. It was a result of this program. We got those votes. Even in minority dominated areas, we were getting a reasonable amount of vote, if not a very large section of vote. And I think what he was doing in a very subtle manner, he's put it more explicitly today.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.